Now I can imagine that it was one morning at breakfast when the next incident took place. Genesis 29:15 says, Laban said to Jacob, because thou art my brother, shouldest thou therefore serve me for naught? Tell me, what shall thy wages be? Then Uncle Laban is clever. Who had said anything about going to work? Jacob hasn't. So Uncle Laban's very tactful and says he doesn't want Jacob to work for him for nothing. He says he'll pay Jacob. Frankly, you don't live with Laban a month without making some sort of arrangement to pay your board. Uncle Laban is a clever one. And now he's going to deal with his nephew. Laban had two daughters. The name of the elder was Leah. The name of the younger was Rachel. Genesis 29:16. Now here's what we're introduced to another daughter, Leah. Uncle Laban has been watching this boy, and he's noted that his nephew has become very much interested in his daughter Rachel, the younger of the two. The next verse tells why. Leah was tender-eyed. Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. Genesis 29:17. Rachel was a very beautiful girl. Maybe that's why he cried. Leah was tender-eyed, which is a way of saying that she was not beautiful at all. Aw, poor Leah. In college, when we were reading Greek and studying some of the plays of Euripides, 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 is that how to say that? Or Euripides?
Yeah,
Okay.
Euripides.
Euripides. When a fellow wanted to say something very nice about a girl, we found out in the play that he would call her cow-eyed. I always laughed about that and thought I would turn that, I would never consider that a compliment. Well, now the next time you meet a cow, take a look at its eyes. You'll see they're beautiful. Ever since I read that play, I have never seen a cow with ugly eyes. But Leah was not cow-eyed. She was tender-eyed, which meant that she was sort of an ugly duckling. So Laban had these two daughters. It's obvious that Jacob is in love with Rachel.
And so that this section is entitled Jacob Serves for Rachel.
Okay. Jacob loved Rachel and said, I'll serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter. Genesis 29:18. We find Jacob was quite moon-eyed. So that morning at breakfast, when Uncle Laban suggested he go to work, he had something in mind for himself. He knew that the boy was in love with the girl. So I don't think he was all surprised at Jacob's answer when he asked what his wages would be. Jacob was willing to work for 7 years for Rachel. This man Laban was driving a hard bargain. And Laban said, it's better that I give her to thee than I should give her to another man. So abide with me. Genesis 29:19. I feel like something's in my hair. Laban accepted that bargain. Now the next verse tells us of the loveliest thing that is said about Jacob. Frankly, in the early years of Jacob's life, the only appearance of anything beautiful or fine or noble is his love for Rachel. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days for the love he had for her. Genesis 29 and verse 20. You can just see this man working. I tell you, Uncle Laban had him working hard. He worked out in the cold, out in the rain, all sorts of weather. He always thought of that girl Rachel. And there she was to meet him after a hard day. He was desperately in love with her. Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her. Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. Genesis 29:21 and 22.
So that's J. Vernon McGee's commentary on verse 15 through 22. Now we're going to look at Chuck Smith's commentary on verses 15 through 22. He let Jacob set his own wages.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know why or what he said 7 years.
I know. Why 7 years?
So,
Why didn't he say 3 years?
That must have been the thumb, the what was required for a dowry back then.
Yeah.
Was 7 years worth of wages. You know, like
Yeah, they used
like
7
now,
years.
what is it? 2 months. 2 months' wages is what you're supposed to spend on a wedding ring.
I don't know. I have no clue.
There's a set rule of thumb.
Yeah.
Of how much you spend on a vacation.
No more than 2 months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 2
No
months.
more than 2 months.
So but 7 years.
Don't think so.
Anyway, so some think Leah's eyes were blue. That's what
That was soft eyed,
tender
tender eyed.
eyes meant that they were blue. And I mentioned a dowry is basically alimony in advance.
Yeah.
In case you're not trusting her, treating her right, or you put her away, she can live on it. The father kept it, and Jacob has nothing whenever he gets there. He loved her so much he is willing to become a slave. And Laban increased his goods because of Jacob. He should have that should have been set aside, but he did not do that.
Yeah.
And so he's taking advantage of everybody along the way.
Yeah.
So that concludes section verses 15